We ready?
Yeah, we're chilling. Chilling. Just let it roll in. Just talk.
Yo, before we start this interview, I'm gonna just say one thing, man. I've only met this guy Ryan like 5 or 6 times, but he's my fucking guy. I trust him with my life.
Really?
I trust you with my life, bro.
Bro.
You're that fucking guy.
This dude right here, literally, every time I call him, the first ring, boom. Viso's gonna be mad at me because I don't answer Viso's calls sometimes. But
when he
that's
calls
all right.
me, I answer.
Every time this guy, one ring.
That's
That's
it.
crazy. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, ready, man.
All right, bro. So let's get into it. Just off of that statement alone, I'm like inspired by you, which is super cool. What is your backstory like before any of the creative stuff?
Before any of the creative stuff?
Or were you always a creative?
No, I mean, I guess there's a backstory to it. Like, I started skateboarding, I guess. That's really like the start of it all. Like in 2nd grade, I guess I picked up a skateboard, and after that, like, just started skating. You know, that became my passion. That was like my first passion. And then after that, you know, that's where the music came in, you know, music inspiration. I remember hanging out with my cousins and uncles, E-Man, Kevin, Tommy. And like, like they inspired my creative, you know, they started getting me into all the new music.
What year is this? Like, how old are you at this point?
I can't really say. Like, let's just say 2nd grade, I picked up a skateboard.
Yeah.
Fast forward to 5th grade, you know, now me and my cousins were experimenting with shit, you know, and then 6th grade, you know, like Odd Future vibes. All through middle school, we're still skating all the time.
Yeah. We're
skating every day, scootering, being little fuck boys, fucking around, getting in trouble. And like that's really what fueled who I am as a person, you know, as a
Gotcha.
whole.
Like those are your roots.
Yeah, like that's the root. Like basically skateboarding
got you
that
into
whole culture.
Yeah, it got you into music, which got you into being a fashion guy. Got you into being someone that produces streetwear all the time.
Exactly.
It's really amazing.
Yeah.
So like, what were you like listening to when you were skating? Like, what was your vibe there?
Probably like a lot of like Earl Sweatshirt, all that Odd Future shit. Like that was my favorite. But
Is that like your first memory of like music?
That's like what I could say, you know, like, and even now till this day, like Tyler the Creator, like that dude is a genius, you know, and a huge inspiration till this day. He still never fails to inspire, like as time goes. But yeah, like that's the earliest memory I could think of, the earliest real influence on my life.
Gotcha.
Odd Future.
Gotcha. So when do you start Kinky?
Kinky, that was like by 2017. You know, 2016 Kinky Vibes started, and then 2017 is when the brand really came to life. But you know, a lot happened in between that. You know, to get to the Kinky.
So what happened in between that? Give me a quick rundown of it.
So we're at middle school, you know, like same thing.
Take me on the timeline.
Skating all the time, middle school, boom, 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 boom. Then by the end of 8th grade, I started smoking weed probably, and then freshman year in high school, start selling it and stuff. And somewhere along the lines there, got lost in the sauce. By sophomore year, probably barely skating anymore. Not doing anything creative. Aside from at some point, I made like T-shirts for the pep rally. I've always been like an entrepreneur. Like,
Yeah.
I even sold, like my mom would buy me chocolates from BJ's, and I would sell chocolates and Skittles and shit for $1 in school. And I made the T-shirts for the pep rally. Like that's the only thing I really did in high school. And aside from that, I got lost in the sauce. Got in trouble a lot. And graduated high school, went to college for 1 semester,
Yeah.
dropped out of college, and after that, you start thinking like, what are you gonna do? What am I gonna do with my life? I went to college basically to, try to prove something to my parents and the people around me, and that's basically what you're supposed to do is go to college. So, went to college.
What year is that? What year is college?
That's like 2015. I went for that semester.
Okay.
By the beginning of 2016, that semester was done or something.
Yep.
And then I didn't go back.
Yeah.
2016, I believe. So yeah, so at one point, let's put it this way. At one point, I tried to join the Army.
Okay.
Right?
What year is
at
that?
At one point in 2016,
Okay.
Beginning of 2016, about February, I tried to join the Army. Because at that point, I'm like, what am I going to do with my life? I don't know. What am I going to do with my life? I got so lost in the sauce, I had no idea.
Now the college thing, you're like, I don't want to do this
college.
anymore.
No, actually, I didn't drop out of college. I flunked out of college. They said I had to take a break or something. I could go back after a certain amount of time, but I had to skip a semester. I just failed.
Wow. And from that, you go now. You're like, okay, I want to join the Army. Maybe. What happens there?
And really that was like a grasp that in my eyes at that time, that was the only thing I could do.
Yeah.
To become somewhat successful. You just go to the Army. You're gonna be good. That was my thought process. But I didn't get into the Army.
Okay.
They denied me. Now I'm big on everything happens for a reason. I'm super big because I made going back to high school, I made a lot of mistakes, right? I thought those mistakes defined me in a bad way, but really they did define me. They helped me because of one of the charges I got in high school. I could not be in the Army. I'm not going to go into too much detail because that's a whole other story in itself, but long story short, I could not join the Army because of my past mistakes, basically.
Got it.
I could have appealed it, but they actually said it was unlikely that I could join, period.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. It's really hard to not be able to get into the Army.
Did that discourage you at all,
Yes.
or did that?
That was the worst time of my life. That was probably my bottom. At that point, I'm like, oh shit, I'm fucked. I'm not gonna be anything in life. I got into a downward spiral after that. That whole 2016 year, horrible. Got arrested a few times. Horrible.
Mm-hmm. What is the turning point?
The turning point was, it was pretty quick. I don't stay in a downward spiral for long, but at some point I did realize after getting arrested 3 times, whatever, all for weed. So nothing crazy, but I was just like, yo, I got to make a change, I got to make a change. So I started skateboarding again. Hanging out with the same friends I would hang out with in middle school, right? Mm-hmm. Shout out to Nico and Ryan. I started hanging out with them again, skateboarding again all the time. Stopped hanging out with the old people I was hanging out with. Nothing against them. Shout out to them. Those, everybody a part of my life, shout out to them. But, it was just...
Yeah, different sense of community,
Exactly.
The skate community.
So...
It's something that people always comment on. The skate community is such a family.
Exactly.
It's people wanting to see better and growth. You're there, on the 5-step, or you're there at the skate park, and everybody is there to get a trick done that day. Or get a line done.
It's beautiful.
And
it's a beautiful scene.
Everybody cheers each other on
I love
to
it.
get better.
And in some certain skate parks more than others.
Yeah.
It's so much of a community out there.
100%.
And so yeah, I got back to my roots. What we were talking about in the beginning, I got back to that. And that helped me get out of that trap, out of that hole of negativity and bullshit. Started skateboarding all the time, really. And you don't need much money when you're skateboarding every day. You just need $5-6 to go buy pizza and a fucking Coke, and you're good.
Yeah.
You're vibing.
It's really a vibe when you think about it. You're not like you said, you're really not spending more than $10 when you're really into it, like where you're just in the parks,
You
you're just at the
don't need much.
stairs.
You get a bagel, $2. Simple.
You're
know?
right.
So the skateboarding got back into the music again. Now I'm like actually trying to make music. I'm in Kevin's room.
Yep.
Kevin's room, just making music with his
He had his like drum pad basically,
some
like
little
the
stuff,
MIDI
yeah.
keyboard.
Exactly. He
Yeah.
had some stuff, and I was making music now, skateboarding, making music, editing little videos of my skateboarding as content, and that was the start of it. And throughout 2016, Kinky was the vibe, and we were all talking about Kinky. Everything is Kinky, and I realized like this would be a really cool brand to start. It really makes sense. It means a lot, and I started the brand. Everybody loved it, and from there, really I had to choose between making music and making the clothes, because at one point, I couldn't sustain going to the studio all the time.
Yeah. And also doing all the production on
And
the
doing
Kinky stuff.
Kinky in the city. I wasn't doing the
Events.
production yet. I was just, getting it made and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But I'm working at T-Mobile. I'm doing the contracting job 1 or 2 days a week. I'm doing the Kinky brand, selling out hoodies. And on top of that,
Can I take it back just one quick step, just
Go ahead,
so
go ahead, yeah.
I could learn more? So, you get back into the skate vibe, the skate community. Where does that contracting job come from? Also, the T-Mobile job,
the T-Mobile job.
Where did that happen?
So the T-Mobile job started by February of 2017. At one point, I just printed out 20 resumes, and I went to 15 different places,
Yeah.
handing them out. At that time, I had 3 people that were ready to start me right away, and I actually was able to choose. Some higher paying than others.
Wow.
T-Mobile was the middle pay. I went with T-Mobile because they had a commission, and I just, I enjoy selling and doing stuff like that. Better than ShopRite. ShopRite was paying more somehow. I don't want to work at ShopRite.
Yeah.
But
No disrespect to ShopRite. My grandma worked there
disrespect.
for 40 years.
Okay.
No disrespect.
No disrespect to ShopRite. No, it's
Just for you.
For me.
100%.
So I went with T-Mobile.
Cool.
And
And what is the contracting job?
the contractor job really honestly, bro, I always did contractor jobs throughout this whole time period. I've had we're talking about 12 jobs. I've always worked.
Gotcha.
Aside from hustling and trap and all that
Cool.
bullshit, I've always had a job. I've hung up smart boards in schools. I've done projectors, TVs, mirrors. We fucking redone Adidas stores, Nike stores, all types of random things.
I love that. I love that. Okay,
I'm very
so-
handy. I'm very
Yeah. No,
handy
I
with shit.
definitely see it. And also, jumping ahead just a little bit, obviously with the whole production, the blank workshop,
Yeah.
your t-shirt production, that's very
that-
hands-on. That's very
Yeah.
something that you have to learn. And it's in a way, that contracting type of style.
Exactly.
You're measuring twice, cutting once type of feel.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, cool. So everybody's talking Kinky. Everybody is.
That's by
Literally.
the end of 2017 now.
Got you.
By the end of 2017, Kinky has started. Everybody's talking about it. It was, by the beginning of 2018 is when I got everything official, got the
Yeah.
LLC.
Yeah, and credits to you. That's when I had also rediscovered you,
Yeah.
in the most honest way. I knew you when I was younger,
Yeah.
and when you were creative,
From
and
the
when you were
scooter days.
skateboarding and all that. In the middle of that, I forgot that we were even talking online and
Yeah.
all that stuff. And then when you started Kinky up, you
Yeah,
were.
you were one of my first supporters. You have some OG t-shirts.
I have it. I think I have it in my bag right now, actually, or it's in my car. It was in my camera bag yesterday, or my backpack, and I was like, oh crap, I had the orange one. That's Kinky in the City. And I remember seeing that because I had saw Viso was posting it. I had saw that you had people modeling for you, and I'm like, whoa, this is a different lane. Like I'm not in that.
Yeah.
I wasn't in that yet, but I had
No,
rediscovered
but your
like
stuff
Anthony
was dope.
Papoters.
But that stuff
Like-
was dope that you have, because me and you went back that day with E-Man. Those old videos that nobody's talking about right now that you guys did, like, dude, that was so ahead of its time, you know?
Yeah, no, it's like different. It's all different timings, but like I remember seeing just everybody like this bigger community that we're all creating now, like that 2016 to 2018 time of like that build process.
I think
really
it
was
like,
a build process.
I feel like a lot of people did it together, though. You know,
Yeah.
like, you know, you, me, Viso. There's so many people. Not gonna name them all right now. Viso's back there though, so I'll name him.
Of course.
But there's so many of us that like kind of did it together in our own lanes.
Yes.
But we did it together, and we all kind of inspired each other. You know, and it's a beautiful thing. That's why I think
dude.
that's why we do what we do. At the end of the day, like, we feed off each other.
Yeah.
And-
So I want to get back to the timeline because
ahead,
I'm
go ahead.
still
All right,
curious about.
Okay.
I want to hyper focus on your
Go ahead.
story because I did not know anything so far that you are saying.
Yeah.
Literally,
No,
besides the 8th grade stuff.
I told
and
you, I'm
the
gonna
Kinky.
I'm gonna tell you.
And I love it.
Got
I
it.
love it. I love your story so far. This is awesome. So 2018, Kinky's now like the real deal. You got the LLC. You got stuff in production. You're selling stuff like crazy.
Yep.
Take me to that moment in time and beyond that.
So, you know, 2018, everything got official. You know, just selling hoodies, making hoodies at some point. You know, I was very close to my guy who did the embroidery on the hoodies, my boy Smith, 15 Needles. He would make my hoodies all the time. But he's a very busy guy and stuff, and at some point I started using his machine. He allowed me to use his machine. It was great. That's how I really learned more into this production stuff. He really kind of taught me a lot of the things I know today. And you know, I took it and I ran with it. I fucking, my work ethic, I applied everything to it.
Yeah.
And at one point, you know, obviously I wanted to get my own embroidery machine. But let me not fast forward too much.
Yeah.
Let me go back.
Yeah. Bring me in the moment.
So
in
2018, by the end of 2018, you know, I start helping him out with production. And 2019 comes, you know, things kind of start slowing down a bit. And
You're saying for Kinky.
yeah, for Kinky, things start slowing down a bit.
Okay.
And not super slow, but like, you know, not as it was in the beginning.
Gotcha.
So I'm working on my website. I'm working on a bunch of stuff, you know, and everything. At that point, I'm making it myself with my guy Smith, and
This is 2019.
it's 2019.
I see, because you have a long story.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I see
yeah.
your, like,
I'm like
we
losing.
talked about the
I'm
other
like,
day.
Yeah.
When you have all of these points, some moments are very hard to really tap into.
Yeah, they
and
are.
that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But we're going to tap into it
No,
right
no,
here.
we got it.
We're going to tap into
You're
it right
doing
here.
good. You're doing good.
I'm wanting you to get lost right there because
Mm-hmm.
we talked about this the other day, and I feel the same way about certain periods.
Yeah.
So 2019, you're with Smith, you're doing the production now. What is the moment, the most monumental moment where you, boom, you're like, I gotta get my own machine, I gotta get my own spot, I gotta bring my own team onto it. What's that moment?
Okay, I mean, so honestly, I realized, like, I think I'm big on ownership, you know, and I just realized for me, my route was owning what I wanted to do. So I was going to the studio during that time. up until 2018 is when I stopped making the music, because music, I couldn't make that return fast enough to sustain what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I still want to make music, right? But I went towards focusing more on my Kinky brand, right? I started investing more into it. Cool, now I have more stock. I just bought mad hoodies. I know I'm making them myself with Smith, so I'm like, all right, boom, I bought mad hoodies. I make them.
You're taking advantage of the opportunity
Exactly.
given.
And, and my slogan is Kinky everywhere. So, I'm always thinking about Kinky. I want everybody to wear that stuff. That's really the drive through this all. It's what saved me from that bad hole I was in, in 2016. So, 2019, boom. So like I said, big on ownership, and I just wanted to do my own thing, have mad product. By 2020, January, I said I need my own space. I'm filling up my parents' basement. I need my own office space. So I found one nearby, and rented it out. Everyone at the time told me, no, you can save your money, you don't need it. But when you need more space and when you know it in your head that you need more space, it's already a block. If you don't get more space, you're not allowing more things to come in.
Yeah, you're not allowing more stuff to fill it.
Exactly.
Like, if I got more space, I'm going to fill it with more things that are going to make me more money, that are going to bring in more production.
Exactly.
That's going to allow me freedom to get back to music and skateboarding.
Exactly. So,
well, what is the first space? Is it this spot you're at right now?
No, it's in Dumont. So
Okay.
That was the first space, and I was there from January up until February of 2021. So I had that first space. In that first space, I went from a smaller room to a bigger room that they had, about double the size, within like 4 months. So by the time March came, where COVID hit.
Yeah.
So yeah, for 3 months, January, I got into the smaller space, and then they had a bigger space open up in the same building. I took the bigger space, and that was in March when when COVID first started. And at that point I had the heat press, and my whole purpose was to produce Kinky, and then the Blank Workshop kind of came out of that, because now I have these skills and I can help people do what I've been trying to do. And yeah, now we're at the Blank Workshop stage where I freaking just, I haven't been on top of Kinky like I should be.
But that's all right.
Which is fine, because, everything happens for a
Everything
reason,
happens.
and we're doing it how it's supposed to be done at the end of the day. So the Blank Workshop, we're here, boom.
So Dumont's the first spot.
Dumont's the first spot. And at that point,
that grows your interest in the Blank Workshop.
Into the Blank Workshop.
Lifestyle. And then you start helping more people.
Exactly.
Where is the turning point where it goes to a next studio, and what is that next studio?
So the turning point actually was when I wanted to get my own embroidery machine. So that was I've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah.
And at this point, this is the time now where I needed that embroidery machine, but I couldn't get it into my actual space because it was on a 3rd floor, and there was no elevator there. So I couldn't get the embroidery machine there, so that was setting me back. Then it's funny, there's so much shit, because then I moved into my guy Jack's garage. He runs Jeffersons.co, and I actually worked for him too. Like, this is something I haven't even said yet, but I worked with Jeffersons, and I did almost all of their tie-dye, socks, all that stuff. I was running production with him. That's another guy who got me more into the production of things, because I was running it for him. I was doing all his tie-dyes. He had his DTG, was running his heat press. And that was before I even got the office too. I was running with him. So yeah, all of that stuff, all of that production knowledge got to that spot. Started applying it, try to apply it more towards Kinky. But then people saw what I was doing, and everybody was like, yo, I need your help, I need your help. And shit, I just realized, like, wow, like I could really use these skills, and I could help these people, and I could make a living out of it. And by the middle of COVID, I had quit the job already. No more T-Mobile. Started saying no more to the contracting job because
Yeah, you didn't have time. You were focused on something else.
Exactly. And shit, since the middle of COVID, I've been like basically working for myself, just upgrading shit. February, I got that embroidery machine finally. I moved into Jack's garage.
And that's the Colinelli Bros built.
No,
oh, this
Jack's
is different.
garage was just the embroidery
Okay.
machine, small space.
Okay.
February up until August, because it was such a small space. It was smaller than my last space. I had to
Gotcha.
downgrade to get this embroidery machine.
Wow.
Downgrade my space, and
what town is that in?
it's in Fort Lee.
Fort Lee. Oh, okay.
So at that point, I knew I had to get out of there because I'm freaking expanding so fast, and shit, like I'm like, yo, I gotta get a bigger space, I got together with my uncle E-Man, and he's a year younger than me, but he's my uncle. I just gotta let the people know.
Wow, I
that.
always forget that.
He's a year younger than me, but he's my uncle. And Kevin's a year older than me. He's also my uncle. But yeah, anyways,
Wow.
yeah, I just gotta let the world know. But
I always forget that. And like now that I'm thinking back, I remember like hearing that and saying, oh, okay. But my best friend TJ has like a similar situation too.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
But got together with him, and I was looking for a while. Even when I was trying to find the embroidery machine, I couldn't find a space that was gonna allow the embroidery machine to get in. I couldn't find an affordable space at that time. But as time went on, my budget increased, and then E-Man came in with me, and we made the investment in the space together, rented out one of the rooms to my guy with Dynamite Buds, and now we've just been there since last August. We've been there running the blank workshop, and now I got a team. I got my guy Chris on the embroidery, my guy Alex on screen printing, and then I got some graphic designers that I could call anytime. And it's a beautiful thing. Now
Yeah,
I'm
you
really
built
running.
up a really good network and a really good team.
Exactly, and it's super fun in there. We're always having fun, and we're always just listening to music, working, chatting. I'm trying to build an environment, for everybody, including myself. Obviously, mainly myself, but like it's just such a beautiful thing to see
Others thrive in there.
Exactly, and I have, these young guys. They come to my shop. They use my sewing machines. My boy Rob. He's using my sewing machine. He's freaking sewing up dope ass stuff. Like freaking made me a bucket hat. He made got my boy Yogi Life. He made a whole tapestry hoodie. Dude, it's so much young talent out there, and I want to be able to see it all. It inspires me. You inspire me. Viso inspires me.
Yeah.
I love to see it.
Yeah. So is this like kind of what's the 1-year anniversary date for the Blank Workshop in the location you're at right now? You
It
said
will be
last
in
August, right?
In August.
August
yeah.
what? You remember?
August 15th. Oh yeah, it's about to be soon. It's like in 3 days. It doesn't even feel like it, dude. This year has just flown by.
Yo, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. When did we reconnect? I'm trying to think like officially. Was it when Viso and I had gone to your studio? Or did we
Yeah.
we hang out one time before that?
So I think like we would like say stuff to each other on Instagram here and there, but we reconnected that time you pulled up to the studio, with E-Man.
Yeah.
And we saw each other, and I think my stomach hurt, but I did it. But like your energy was like.
It was when
your
you were
energy
going to.
took away my
weren't you
stomach
going
ache.
to the Dominican Republic?
Yes, I think I was about to go.
You were
on
about to go on the
vacation.
plane. You're like, yo, I gotta leave, but I don't want to leave.
I didn't want to leave. I wanted to stay and keep talking to you because I was like, yo, this fucking guy is doing it right now, man.
Yeah, because that was the first time we ever met.
like Like for
Like,
real,
officially met.
We've known each other. We freaking beefed on on Facebook
Yep.
when we were in middle
For
school.
years.
Fucking
Anthony Papoters, I'd be like in the video, like, yo, Anthony Papoters, you ain't got nothing on me.
Yep, bro, dude, hilarious.
Yo, that's so crazy though, because we always talk about it, and we're super open about like how much people inspire us throughout the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like leaving there and being so hyped up.
Yeah, bro, honestly.
Like I was like, let's go.
Straight
You know
up.
what I mean? Like new connection to like just boom, be on fire with and want to grow
Dude.
together and grow the operation.
I loved
and think about the next move and it's like
It was
we're
so,
like all these like
it
little
was so amping. Like,
we're like little like Rob Dyrdek like minions
Dude,
like
I
running
went to
around like
I went to the Dominican Republic and I fucking enjoyed the fuck out of it. Shit was so amazing.
that is awesome. That is awesome. I literally haven't looked at this sheet of like questions one time, really. Like you're just taking me through the timeline and like explaining it exactly how.
Yeah.
You're bringing me to the moments in time, which
Yeah,
is
I mean, yeah.
so cool.
I want to be able to look back on this one day. This is my first real interview with
Yeah.
somebody. So I want to make it meaningful. And you're
It
my
is.
guy. So.
It is. It is. This is fire. I'm trying to think of like a question that you haven't answered, Visa. I can't think of one. I really am looking at it, I'm like, you got it all. But I want to like think of something on the spot.
Think of something on the spot, man. I'm waiting on it.
What is your favorite moment of the first time you listened and were skating to now? What has been your favorite moment in that, like, where you really dove into that creative side?
My favorite moment, I mean, bro, that's a hard-ass question.
We asked the hard questions here.
Dude, I mean, that's a super hard question because like it's every moment I make something new. Every moment I see a print come to life. That's every moment I make a new product. Every moment the moment I made these fucking mesh shorts. Look at these mesh shorts.
Yo, they match. They match.
Come on, man.
They match.
Even just tie-dye t-shirt, man. Puff print.
Wow.
Those are my favorite moments, you know, and I just love
Wow.
seeing it when other people are doing it too. And I'm making it for them. So when people come to me and then they actually execute and go for it with their brand, that's my favorite thing. And I always say this to everybody. I always try to think of what is like, let's just say the ugliest thing I've ever printed, right? And I can't pinpoint it. I can't even think of somebody who's came to me to bring their brands to life and it was whack.
Yeah.
Like I can't even think. Everybody who's came to me, everything you see on my page, it's pretty cool. I like it. I
Yeah.
think it's cool.
Yeah, I agree.
I only wear my own brand, but I can respect. I respect it. You know, like I
agree.
I haven't
No.
seen anybody out here who's fucking executing on their shit, and their shit is whack. I fuck with everybody's shit. Like for
Be
real.
confident with it. You're confident. This guy right here, I gotta get in front of the camera. This guy is for the people, for real, for real. Like, he's about his business. We're all about our business, but at the end of the day, he's helping everybody, and that's a blessing to have in the community. We got a lot of people doing that, and like, I don't know. I feel like you're one of like the people that's like I said, we're like these like Rob Dyrdek minions of
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's what we want to
Rob
be about.
Dyrdek,
We
that's
want
another
that
guy
creative
right there,
space. We
man.
want to be skating. We want to be like, we want to have that freedom to get in that situation.
Exactly.
Of like, we can
Just
make
wanna
the
have fun.
decision and make the choices of what we want to do on every day. And you're starting it off already, which is amazing because you
Just
were
get it-
able
we're
to
just getting
create your
started.
schedule. And that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
My
man.
guy. Good
You
shit.
already, man.
This is just 1.0. This is 1.0.
1.0, man. Let's do it. Shit.
Any last words?
No last words, man. That was it. We said it all.
Here, let's get the zoom into Visa.
You ready to go?
No, I was gonna go over there.
He's just been sitting there like this the whole time trying to hide from the camera. He's like, can I move now?
That was fire. Dude, your story is fucking awesome. Damn, I didn't know about like all that shit in high school.
Probably missed so much shit too, bro. But
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like 1.0. Like this shit, like bro.